Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is Jacob Cast 2024. We're going to talk about WWE Smackdown, the show that went up the air a few minutes ago. We're going to talk about Smackdown. We're going to talk about the new NXT Vengeance. We're going to go through the predictions for tomorrow night's pay-per-view for NXT. So make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment. Please enjoy this video. Let me know in the comment section y'all want to see more. I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by JD, Salamonster, Fightful, and Joe Cronin, and my other favorite podcasters. Now, I'm just gonna go through some of the highlights on SmackDown. SmackDown was alright. I thought the wrestling was fine. Just that lack of interest, lack of storytelling, lack of build. It's hard to get invested into WrestleMania. Now we know that outside of two matches that they announced for WrestleMania, that we don't know what else can be on the show. We had some very good matches. I thought the wrestling was great. We had a great main event with Strowman, Priest, and Fatu. Wait a minute. Who won this match? Cody Rhodes came out of nowhere. Hold on a second. I'm trying to see the end of the match. Cody Rhodes going after Solo. Oh, Solo hit Tamatanga, and Fatu got upset. Uh-oh. And hits a crossroads on Solo. Alright, crossroads on Solo. So at the end, Damian Priest won. Alright. Hold on. So it looks like Damian Priest has qualified for the chamber. We have Damian Priest, Logan Paul, John Cena, CM Punk, and Drew McIntyre. That's 5 people. All we need is one more. I think it's pretty clear who the last one's gonna be. I think it had to be Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins had to be the final participant. I think he will qualify among that Raw this week. Or maybe they could add Roman Reigns, because I doubt it. But I think Rollins will be in it. I think it just makes sense. I think it just makes sense. So yeah. So Damian Priest won. Solo kind of screwed Fatu. Cody and Damian Priest shook hands, so they're cool. And that's how SmackDown went up the air. That's how SmackDown ended. SmackDown ended like that. A lot of people have a lot of questions. All right, now let me show you all the Now that's NBA. That was the celebrity games all the weekend. I'm not gonna talk about that. I want to talk about WWE. Let's talk about SmackDown. Solo Cole returns. Solo's back for Cody. Jacob Fatu doesn't love Solo. We had an interaction with Fatu and Drew McIntyre, which was very interesting. Charlotte chooses Tiffany. Tiffany Stratton had a very good match with Nia Jax until it ended in a DQ with Kenneth Wayne get involved. And then Trish Stratus, she got involved. She got attacked by Nia and Candice. And then when Charlotte came out, sat in the chair and said, I choose you at WrestleMania. I'll see you at WrestleMania. So it's official. Charlotte and Tiffany. That's for WrestleMania for the for the women's championship. And we got Jay and Gunther. So those are your two big matches. Good, Jay and Charlotte won the Rumble, so they picked their champions, and that's pretty much it. Unless they could change it, it could be a triple threat. Who knows if it's gonna be? We don't know if it's gonna be a one-on-one or someone gonna get added. We just don't know. We could start debut that on NXT, New Japan, New Beginning. Charlotte decides to challenge Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. There's the NBA Celebrity Game. All right. Now this is what we got on the show. Trish Stratus saved Tiffany from Nia Jax's title match. So I just want to let you guys know. I think they're doing Trish Stratus is gonna wrestle at the Chamber pay per view in Toronto. She actually went backstage and asked Tiffany want to team up against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. So I think we will get the tag team match at the Chamber in Toronto on March 1st. Tiffany Stratton is pretty much she's clearly a baby face. She's gonna team up with Trish Stratus. Last time we saw Trish in the ring, she was a heel. But yet this time, Tiffany and Trish will face Nia Jax and Candice LeRae at the pay-per-view in Elimination Chamber in Toronto. Now, Toronto is a hometown, I think, so I think that's a hometown. I, it looks like we will get this tag team match. We'll see what happens there. Um, we did get a backstage segment with Jimmy and Drew. Jimmy super kicked Drew McIntyre. I don't know what that means. Where's that leading to? Carmelo Hayes beat R-Truth in a pretty quick match. It was just filler, throwaway match. They had a backstage segment earlier in the show, and that led to the match. The match lasted like what, 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Carmelo Hayes get the win, that was it. Carmelo Hayes is not really doing much on SmackDown. As for the mid-card situation with Nakamura, the U.S. champion, him and Knight had an intense moment after the Miz came out. Knight and Miz argue over challenging Shinsuke's U.S. title reign. We had a match with LA Knight and the Miz. They got it made official. It was a pretty good match. It was whatever. LA Knight gets the win. He beat the Miz. I'm still setting up LA Knight and Nakamura. I think we all know LA Knight will win back his U.S. title. Nakamura's had it long enough. Nakamura been irrelevant. He's been an afterthought. He's been pretty much doing nothing with the title. He hadn't defended it. He hadn't had anyone to feud with. He would cut in some decent segments in the vignette, but that's pretty much it. LA Knight, the most over babyface, he should win back the title. Nakamura is pretty much non-existent, so LA Knight will probably win it back. Maybe they'll book it at the Chamber in Toronto. I think they will do it. I think LA Knight will win the belt back. I don't want to see it booked to WrestleMania. Do it at the Chamber or do it on SmackDown. And have Knight win back the title and have him face someone else going into WrestleMania. We had a filler match here with the Motor City Machine Guns versus they overcome Los Galza. Now they're not being called Legado del Fantasma. It looks like the Legado faction is dead. They're called Los Galza. Angel Garza and Huberto. So the machine gun overcome Los Galza. They're still setting up the machine gun to fake DIY. I think we will see the Street Profits get involved since they turn heel and we got a vignette with them backstage. We know Pretty Deadly wants a title shot. I'm just setting up to see who wins the tag team titles. We had a backstage segment with Soul Sokoa with backstage. Soul Sokoa to Jigga 2, bring the title back in the family. Apparently Jigga 2 doesn't love Soul Sokoa. we did get some pretty good vignette with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn speaks for the first time since he was attacked by Kevin Owens. I think they are setting up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania probably. We get Naomi. She qualified for the Chamber against Chelsea Green. It was a pretty good match. Both of these women are very good, but I hated that. Why are we pinning the United States champion? Why are we pinning Chelsea Green, the Women's United States champion? I hate seeing champions lose. I hate champion losing and non-title matches for no reason. There was no for Naomi to beat. There was no that she can qualify. Why? I don't like seeing Chelsea Green lose. She's been the U.S. champion since I think for like 2 months now. 2 months. She's been the women's U.S. champion for 2 months. She hasn't really done much with it besides WrestleMania. Now she's in the feud with Naomi and Bianca. Obviously, Naomi was gonna win. Chelsea's not going to the chamber. She's already there. She's the mid-card champion for the women's on Smackdown. I didn't like her losing clean. We just saw the same thing with Lyra Valkyria, where she lost to Bailey in a non-title match. It was a qualifying match, but I don't like seeing champions lose. That showed you what Triple H and creative things of the mid-card title for the women. They're irrelevant, they're non-existent. Lyra hadn't defended the title since he won it. She hadn't done shit with the belt. She's not over. The crowd didn't know how to react to her. Chelsea Green's over. She's doing something, but it's just not enough. And her being pinned clean by Naomi, I hated that. Hope they both her right with the title. But anyway, Naomi qualified for the chamber. I think more left. We have 5 women who qualified. We got Liv Morgan, we got Bianca, Naomi, and we got Liv, we got Alessa, Bailey, she qualified. We need one more to qualify. I think we'll see that Monday Night Raw. And wait to see who that is. Or it could be a surprise. Maybe for a storyline. I don't know. We have to wait and see what happens. Now, this is what opened the show. Cody Rhodes comes face to face with Drew McIntyre. Cody Rhodes dispute with Jacob Fatu, holding my solo. R-Truth Anthony Angle, Carmelo Hayes. Alright. Now, for the news and rumors and what announced, Triple H announced Michelle McCool to be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. She's now in the Hall of Fame. There was an interview with her and her husband, the Undertaker, Mark Galloway, to talk about it. Michelle McCool, I wish she had one last one, but it looks like she's gonna retire, and she might hang it up. Last time we saw her in the ring was at the Royal Rumble in 2023, and then the Rumble in 2018. Her last one was in 2011, a very long time, like 14 years ago. She's also a very good wrestler. She is her one last one, but looks like she's in the Hall of Fame. Who knows? I mean, she could come back to wrestle. Anything could happen, but she's in the Hall of Fame. She's also a legend. She's a great wrestler. Alright, that's AEW Grand Slam in Australia. Myra May and Tony Storm. And then we got Vengeance Day in Washington, D.C. on February 15th, tomorrow night. We got 5 matches that were now. Alright. These are the news and rumors. As you guys know, on Tuesday, Ricky Starks made his debut to NXT. His debut backfires on Tony Khan. The Revolution once again finally televised.
Confirmed my suspicions that they weren't going to do anything with this, and it was just a silly call to make. For whatever reason, they decided to make it, and they did, and we haven't gotten anything from it. So we'll see where we go from here. We got Saisa Super who's here. What's up?
Tonight, I don't know if they had the stretch. I think they had the stretch out a little bit longer. Come on, bro. Give us
Well, Dom driving Lee, and I'm subjected to the Miz and Shinsuke Nakamura, and eventually Rusev and Malachi program, which he has been part of it. You know, he did have that triple threat match with Andrade, Carmelo, and LA Knight. But yeah, man, I want to see fresh faces, and I think I was not. The Miz stuff wasn't for me. Hope you know. Granted, it was just a 1 week thing. Sure, fine, cool, all of that, but it just went way too long, and it wasn't that great. So it is what it is. But yeah, there is more people that you can definitely throw in there. Thank you so much, Saeed. We got Bailey Darley here.
Now this is Denise Salcedo. I'm surprised Robin not there. It the other guy from NXT. I should probably only read the super
I
chat.
know who the anonymous was. Okay.
Read the super chat.
Match, I thought they would have gotten a lot of goodwill had they just given Tiffany Stratton this massive win, and I think it would have made her look even better as a competitor to Charlotte Flair, and it would make Charlotte Flair look even better for picking Tiffany Stratton because it'd be like, oh, she had a reason to pick her because look at her after this big attack from Nia Jax and Chelsea and Tiffany Stratton was still able to get the win. Shit, she is a fighting freaking champion with so much heart and so much passion that would make Tiffany Stratton look good, and in turn would make Charlotte Flair look good too for also picking her. So I really wish they would have rethought that finish just a little bit more. And then with Chelsea, so Chelsea had a match today against Naomi to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. One of the things that when this match was first announced, I accidentally thought that this match was for the United States Championship because we never get to see Chelsea Green defend her United States Championship. And then when I realized it was for the Elimination Chamber, I'm like, oh, well, that's totally Naomi's to win. She has to win that match. She's the one that I think would benefit the most from being in the Elimination Chamber. But I just wish they wouldn't have gone about it with her having to beat Chelsea Green. I wish that Chelsea Green instead, because I think Piper Niven had a match last week on SmackDown. I wish it would have been Chelsea Green that had the match last week on SmackDown, defended her title, and I wish that this week, I think that's what they should have done, because if not, then you're kind of just pushing Chelsea. Like Chelsea Green is still a champion, and even though she's a funny, haha, comedic champion, I still wanted her to be given a little bit, you know, taken a little seriously in some aspects, but she's still a champion.
I definitely agree, Denise. And you look at like the women's Intercontinental Champion and women's US Champion both took losses clean this week, and I was like, what are y'all doing with the division? Like they need to book that division the same way they booked the women's North American division on NXT. It's great, it's stacked, it's competitive. You have enough women on the roster to do it, so I'm not understanding why they haven't like started some major feats for these women, especially with Mania being 60 days away. You got 2 nights to fill. I hope they get started on that quickly.
Thank you so much, Uncle Don, for the generous super chat. I hope you have a good weekend. We got Anthony Giuliano here who says, I'm all gas. A good freaking week.
Alright, now let me try to go back. Hold on. I actually want to go back to the beginning and see it. Hope I didn't miss anything.
Hours long. That's why
Yeah, I don't like that either. Smackdown 3 hours is not hitting it for me. It's not that good. I actually hate it being 3 hours. It should go back to 2 hours. Hopefully, I think it will go back to probably in May or
I'm
June.
looking forward to seeing. I love Charlotte's presence. What
she had the upper hand on Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was the one fighting for. Once she won the title, I thought she was going to be a full-on babyface. So I was surprised when she was still a heel. Up Tiffy, it's still Tiffy time, and in that kind of a tone of voice, which was
action drag. Let me go.
confident in the beginning. I was singing it up to the heavens. Now I don't really feel that confident, but I'm still going to keep manifesting that we get completely surprised and Tiffany actually gets to defeat Charlotte.
I agree, and I mean those of us, man, we talk about this on Wednesday nights too. Like I was all for like Charlotte and Tiffany as long as Tiffany gets over. She has to get over in this match because although I'm a big Charlotte fan, Charlotte's had a lot of highlights. You gotta get Tiffany over. She's the next era star. I'm not saying Charlotte's done. Because her and Bailey are still here knocking. The Horsewoman is still very relevant though, but in this season right now, it's more about getting Tiffany time over. You gotta establish a new star. And I feel like this won't hurt Charlotte as a whole. So let's say she like loses here, leaves, come back in SummerSlam, wins something like that. Wins Queen of the Ring, wins Money in the Bank, something like that. Hey, she'll be good. She's good. You know, good wardrobe out there, doing great. Thank you. But you got to lose, Charlotte. I'm sorry, you have to lose because I feel you gotta get her over. If she does win, I'll be disappointed. But after this promo does have me doubtful because when you see them together, not to be mean to Tiffany, I know she's a full-grown adult, great. It does look like a woman and a little girl. When you see them in the ring, it's like that dynamic. You can see, like, uh, so I hope she wins.
This point, but that is where we're at with Charlotte and Tiffany is officially happening at WrestleMania. We got some super chats here to get into, so here we go. We're kicking things off with Anthony Giuliano who says what happened to Robin. Robin's on vacation enjoying himself, so he's having a good time. Says happy Valentine's Day, Denise. I know how you have so much energy, but dragged and felt like 6 hours long. And mind you, John Taylor was like show because even though he is the most popular guy there, it felt like this was going to be either Damien's to win or Braun Strowman, so Damien Priest kind of being more the popular choice. And of course, former World Heavyweight Champion just got over to the Smackdown brand. I think he needed to be put in a spot like this so that he didn't become forgotten about, right? Because Jacob Fatu has all this other stuff with Solo Sikoa. Damien Priest doesn't really have anything else going on, so I felt like this was a good spot for him. We did have Solo Sikoa come in during that opening segment as well. He rode up, he pulled up, and that's when Jacob Fatu went to go find him. They had this backstage interaction in which clearly it's not going so well between them. Solo Sikoa told Jacob Fatu that he loved him, and Jacob Fatu did not share the same feelings with him, and that was the gist of that. So what we ended up getting in the closing segment, we did have Solo Sikoa go out there and try to help Jacob Fatu, but Cody Rhodes came out and made sure that didn't, go down on his watch. And so that all basically led to a melee on the outside where they took out Solo Sikoa, and then Solo Sikoa accidentally Samoan spiked Tama Tonga, and then finally Jacob Fatu gets taken out by Damien Priest, and then back in the ring, Damien Priest is able to handle his business with Fatu. Wow, there was a lot that went in there, but what did you make of all of this, Chin?
I'll start off the top. I agree that I saw Damian Priest being the winner just because, again, he's new to the brand. We have to establish him as someone who competes on the main event level. I don't see him being world champion anytime soon, but it's important to present him on that level. Like, he will always be in contention for it. Like, that type of person, that type of guy. So it was good for him to win. Jacob doesn't need to win. Like you said, he's involved with Solo. I feel is a really good storyline. I feel when Jake goes out there and says, "I don't love you no more," Solo, the crowd is gonna go crazy because he said it so much. They even chanted, "I love you, Solo." They chanted with him. They chanted with him, and I love all his energy. I'll dog walk your way. I love listen. That okay? I'll dog walk your way. He looks. I believe it. He go cross. I cross out every time. Dog walk your way. I believe it. The energy he brings to it makes me excited. So I think he doesn't need this win. He has enough momentum behind him to continue his storyline with Solo, with the crowd be interested in him. Braun is, I feel, at this point in his career, I feel he's a strong hand that they kind of use to help enhance other people. Not to where he's like a jobber done like that, but like he can like take a loss and it won't like hurt him in the long run. Like he lost to Jacob at main event. We still view him as like somebody big deal. Well, just lost tonight. He come back out, beat Carmelo Hayes, and be right back in there. He's good. He's good. So, don't worry about that. Chamber will have a good showing, establish him. Braun won't take much taking the L, and Jacob will continue to don't walk that ass with Solo. I love it. Makes me happy.
I'm not going to be able to think about that without seeing you as cross-eyed and shouldn't do.
Don't walk that ass.
And they also tried to tease, they did a good job of also kind of giving Damien Priest a little bit of a leg up by having him close out the show. Having him close out the show with him and Cody staring at the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah.
Oh my God, should have done when I was little and I used to do my eyes where I used to cross-eyed, like make them cross-eyed. My mom used to tell me to stop doing that. Oh, no, I'm very nervous.
Yeah.
And so it's clearly that whoever that anonymous person I agree with you, Arnold. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good look even better for good herself. Not Bianca, because Bianca would have just screwed herself out of the tournament. So not Bianca, Naomi alone, and I think she's gonna pull pull one over on Bianca Belair. So that's gonna basically just talking shit to each other. LA Knight telling the Miz that he's assuming it's gonna happen in Elimination Chamber. Assuming, but I'm not sure. It could happen just in SmackDown.
I definitely agree. He's defended that is insane. Like, first of all, if I'm Nakamura, I'm pissed, man. You're trying to fill a 3-hour show, and I'm backstage with the belt. What do we need to fill? Wait, Nakamura. What are we gonna do? I'll be so. What? 3 hours, and this show drag. That promo between LA Knight and Miz. I'm a big LA Knight fan, and I like Miz. They're both good on the mic. This wasn't their best. This dragged on. It didn't feel like it was put together that well. It didn't feel as witty as they usually are. Like, they're both pretty good witty on that mic. It wasn't that. You suck. I mean, yeah, but I was expecting more from LA Knight. LA Knight can rip on the mic. I just felt like if this wasn't there tonight, I don't know if they had to stretch. I think they had to stretch it out a little bit longer, because even the Raw felt like at random. Like, just okay, yeah.
That they weren't going to do anything with this, and it was just a silly call to make. For whatever reason, they decided to make it, and they did, and we haven't gotten anything from it. So we'll see where we go from here. We got Saeed and Super, who's here. What's
Huh? Wow. All right. Well. Okay. So that's not there. We got no DQ. The Wyatt Sid to feel in charge. Uncle Howdy coming. When Uncle Howdy coming? We haven't seen the Wyatt Sid since they left Monday Night Raw.
That's my government name, if you guys want to know my.
Jacob Fatu said he was all gas, no brakes tonight, but sometimes you're not all gas.
Don't do it.
You're not all brakes. Sometimes maybe you're all brakes when you want more gas, but the point is, you do a little bit of help.
That brings SpongeBob. Cody comes running down, throws his run, throws Solo into the post. Tonga appears. Solo misses Cody and hits Tama with the spike. Fatu gets out, takes off his shirt. He's about to throw hands with Solo. Priest shoves Fatu into Solo, takes out Fatu. Cody, for no reason whatsoever, hits crossroads on Solo. Priest
the last night. He won the last word. Yeah, that was the last word.
That was the last word. There you go. There you go. There's a reason for it, but it was so unnecessary. So Priest avoids power in the ring, an attempt from Strowman, sends Strowman into the post, then hits South of Heaven, crawls over there, covers him to get the win. So your winner is Damian Priest. Cody, of course, goes over there. So is that what all they're going to do with Cody in Elimination Chamber? He's just going to hang out there and they congratulate the winner. I think that's enough Cody, right?
Maybe he'll stand at the entrance of the chamber, shake everybody at the entrance, go to their pods. Yeah, as they get eliminated, they'll shake their hands as they exit the chamber,
like a grand marshal, or an MC of the events.
Yeah, and then after the winner is decided, they'll get to the chamber.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Going to be watching at the Olympics.
Well, I will just see what Salamonte has to say.
Logan Paul. And after tonight's show, Damian Priest is now officially in the Elimination Chamber. We have one spot left to fill. That will be filled this coming Monday. Seth Rollins goes one-on-one in the final qualifying match. He will be taking on Finn Balor. So Damian Priest is headed to the chamber. Braun Strowman is not. And someone else who is not is Jacob Fatu. Uh, on account of Solo Sikoa's interference. Not that Solo came out to intentionally cost him the match, but that's what ended up happening. All is not well in the bloodline. And if it was not clear before, then it is completely clear now what the vision is for Jacob Fatu as far as his direction and what he will be doing at WrestleMania this year. And that is the correct choice. That is the right choice to make as far as what he will be given at WrestleMania 41. We also had Naomi qualifying for the Women's Elimination Chamber match, which means both members of the Women's Tag Team Champions will be competing against each other. As they did in the Royal Rumble, they are both going to be in the chamber. Also on this show, though, on the women's side, Charlotte Flair has made her choice, as Jey Uso did on Monday night with Gunther. Charlotte Flair made her choice tonight. Her choice for WrestleMania will be Tiffany Stratton. She is going after the WWE Women's Championship, which has been the obvious choice for months, and also is the correct choice. And Nick Aldis, he sprung some anonymous cell phone video on us that, according to the dumb baby faces, Bianca Belair and Naomi, implicate two people as the culprits responsible for the attack on Jade Cargill, which happened months ago. And so all of a sudden, out of the clear blue sky, anonymously, we get this shitty cell phone video that they air on the show tonight. And they want us to believe that these two people are the ones behind the attack on Jade Cargill. I'm not buying it. Not for a second. You shouldn't either. I'll let you know who they want us to believe the guilty party is, and also what Trish Stratus's role will be in Toronto, because Trish was on the show tonight, and now she has a match for the Elimination Chamber since they're going to be in her backyard. And I will never complain about Trish being on the show. Trish is great. Even Trish, though, cannot save
What the hell are you
show.
talking about?
This was largely a drag. This was largely a very boring show, even though it was a newsworthy show. Like I said, a couple people qualified for the chambers. Charlotte made her choice. We did have a fun main event. And yet, it is a 3-hour show, and so that's hardly the only thing that happened on this show. And it was hardly worth it to get there. For the good stuff that we did get. The show was just a drag. And look, this is not to say that Smackdown was so great when it was 2 hours. I mean, let's be honest here. Smackdown has not been a great show for a while. It's not like it just went to 3 hours last month and all of a sudden it sucks. Smackdown has not been lighting the world ablaze for quite some time, but 3 hours has been the absolute death of this show.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know we have to contend with it for several more months. Just
What the hell are you talking
about? Fucking vomit, but
What the hell are they doing?
that's the way it is. And this show at 3 hours absolutely is worse than it was when it was at 2 hours. So people,
Yeah, SmackDown is very filler. Nothing's interesting. What the hell is Triple H doing? What are the creators doing? It's just boring.
people thought that would be just the opposite. All of these new people would have time at 3 hours that they wouldn't have at 2 hours. And while that may be true, technically, there probably are people that we saw tonight who we would not have seen on a 2-hour show. That doesn't mean that the shows are going to be fun because those people are on the show, right? You have to have fun, interesting things for those people to do. And the creative right now on this show is just not hitting. It's just not. In fact, I would say SmackDown at this point, going back the last few weeks, is consistently of the 3 main shows. So we're not counting NXT, we're not counting Collision. Of the 3 main shows, SmackDown is by and large the weakest show. And they have to do something about that because we're heading into WrestleMania season where we're supposed to be pumped up. We're supposed to be excited. Think of where we were with SmackDown a year ago. Now, The Rock was around. And so, of course, where The Rock goes, that's where the main stories are. And that had a lot to do with it. Well, The Rock isn't around right now, at least not for a few more weeks. The Rock is not around right now. And that doesn't mean that you should just kind of throw your hands up in the air and give people a boring build to WrestleMania. But
Not only The Rock is not around, Roman Reigns is not around. Roman Reigns had to sell the attack from Seth Rollins at the Royal Rumble. How long? I hope he's gonna be at the chamber because what's he doing WrestleMania? More and more, more and more, we don't see him on TV. Let the interest we haven't seen who's he gonna feud with. Is he gonna be Seth Rollins? We just don't know. The build of WrestleMania is very weak. All we know is that two matches. All we know that there are two matches.
Unfortunately, that's what this show felt like tonight. I will not bore you, though, because this is your Friday night SmackDown review for Valentine's Day 2025. I am the Salamonster. I hope you all had a very happy Valentine's Day. It is, of course, the holiday where all of the greeting card companies and all the florists, all the chocolate companies, they make a killing every single year because that's just the way it is. Somewhere along the line that you throw my way, it means a lot. So we'll get to that a little bit later on. But let's go back to the beginning here. Let's rewind to the beginning of this show. Because there was no Joe Tessitore on the show tonight. Wade Barrett opened the show. And he explained that Joe was away on assignment. And so filling in for Joe was the old play-by-play voice.
Say hello to Liver Morgan. You know you want me, baby.
Liver Morgan joined
Who the
Wade
hell is
Barrett on commentary tonight.
Who the hell is
I'll
he?
take Liver Morgan. I'll take Liver Morgan over what we got tonight. What I was going to say is that we got the
And you get the cooler.
I love it. I was going to say Wade Barrett had his old partner Corey Graves with him, but I'd be lying if I said that because they passed over Corey Graves to bring Vic Joseph. Oh, yes, Vic Joseph was on SmackDown tonight. The NXT play-by-play announcer was now the SmackDown play-by-play announcer. See, that's what happens when you tweet bad things about WWE. You get moved down the ladder, they move you down the pecking order. Or Corey Graves. Cody Rhodes was out to the ring to open the show to address the audience. And he said that with Jey Uso making his choice on Monday to challenge Gunther at WrestleMania, all eyes now turn to the Elimination Chamber and who goes on to challenge him for the WWE Championship. And he started to poll the crowd. He should have had a Twitter poll. That way everybody can bitch at him. He started to poll the crowd on who they wanted to see him defend his title against. And he went down the list of different names, and he booed Logan Paul, or the crowd booed Logan Paul. Crowd cheered CM Punk. They really cheered for John Cena, and then they even chanted his name, more so even than Punk. One person that it won't be, he said, is Solo Sikoa, who dropped him with a Samoan spike, if you recall, at the end of SmackDown last week, because we can't get away from Cody Rhodes and the Bloodline. So that was the angle that closed the show last week. This week, we're opening up with Cody talking about Solo Sikoa. But Cody had an interesting comment in here where he said he doesn't think that Samoan spike was intended for him. This brought out Drew McIntyre, who was very upset that Cody left him out when he was running down the list of different people who were in the Elimination Chamber. And he pointed out that, actually, Cody said, look, I apologize. I'll do it over again. And so he went and he said, and also Drew McIntyre. McIntyre pointed out that he's won the Elimination Chamber twice, including once as a world champion. He's the same Drew McIntyre who stood in the ring on SmackDown last month and hugged Cody, and then Cody tried to fight him. The same Drew McIntyre that Cody attacked on Raw after that. He said Cody has made it personal, so he's going to have to remind him exactly who Drew McIntyre is. And Cody said that he could count on one hand the men that have beaten him since he came back to the company. Drew McIntyre is one of those people, and he has not forgotten about that. So this brought out Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga in their street clothes. They made their way out. Loud Fatu chants after they cut off the music. louder. I'll tell you what, those Fatu chants were even louder when the people were chanting for Punk and they were chanting for Cena. When Cody was talking, the Fatu chants were even louder.
I love you.
So he told Drew that he already got his spot in the chamber. Him, he's all gas and no brakes tonight. So when it comes to Damian Priest and Braun Strowman, he's about to dog walk their asses. And when he gets done with them, he'll earn his way into the Elimination Chamber, and after that, he's going to WrestleMania. And when he's done with WrestleMania, he is bringing that title back home to his family where it should have never left. McIntyre said that him and Fatu have they have something here. This is something that people want to see. A psychopath and a werewolf.
Nice. Go JD from New York.
I decided to partner with her.
God damn it.
But when you got Chip,
Alright. Now let's see what JD from New York gonna say. Alright.
maybe returning Malachi Black, maybe a returning Miro of sorts. But Friday Night Smackdown tonight, man, I don't even know where to begin. The biggest thing that WWE had coming into tonight was how the show ended last week. And it was Solo Sikoa giving the Samoan spike to the WWE champion, Cody Rhodes. Everybody was rightfully upset. Oh, I can't see this again. How many times are they going to go back to Cody and the bloodline? Obviously, that sparked more. Is The Rock coming back? Is The Rock going to be at the Chamber? Is The Rock going to be at WrestleMania? I was one of those people. Nothing else makes sense. Don't know why they would just pivot to that in the midst of the Elimination Chamber, only for then Cody Rhodes to move on to John Cena or CM Punk, or as the rumors now are aggregating online, both in a triple threat match, which would be awful. But that was the biggest takeaway from last week's show coming on into this show. And in the 3 hours that were tonight, we didn't really get an answer as to why he did what he did last week. The only thing that we got was he took time away after losing the Ulafala. He lost to Roman Reigns and he wasn't himself. Now he's back. He's more like himself again. And the whole mission is for the family to take back the WWE Championship because they feel it should have never left the family. Fine. At no point during tonight's show did they give us a reason as to why Solo Sikoa attacked Cody Rhodes outside of the very bare bones basic reason. So if you guys are looking for an answer, they gave you zero as far as an answer. The biggest takeaway from the entire Solo Sikoa and Cody Rhodes ordeal was the fact that Jacob Fatu is, I know he's probably listed internally as a heel alongside Tama Tonga. But man, the crowd tonight in Washington, D.C., did they ever react to Jacob Fatu in a way? If you watched tonight's show for the first time and you saw Jacob Fatu for the first time, you would be convinced that he is a babyface. That was Washington, D.C. tonight. Especially in the open of the show. Even in the main event, people were cheering him. I was hoping he would even go on to win and advance the Elimination Chamber. Jacob Fatu is slowly, I don't even want to say slowly, WWE's been pushing him pretty moderately on the show, and he's going to be a bigger deal this time next year. He may be a top champion this time next year in WWE, but you see what the Rocket Pack is doing to Jacob Fatu. And I have no problem with that whatsoever. Jacob Fatu, he did mention to Drew McIntyre tonight that he's going to take the WWE Championship back into the family by winning his qualifier, by winning the Chamber, and by beating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Now, clearly none of that was ever going to happen, but one could dream. He's got big dreams and big aspirations, does Jacob Fatu. But then Solo Sikoa showed up, and it was more about Jacob wanting to talk to Solo about where he's been, why last week happened, and he and Cody Rhodes were on the same page. I got to talk to Solo Sikoa, says Jacob Fatu, because this is family business first. And then Cody Rhodes told Jacob Fatu in the open of the show that whatever is left of Solo Sikoa, I want the last laugh against Solo Sikoa for what happened last week. It doesn't look like they're going in a direction where Solo Sikoa is getting a WWE Championship match. I don't think we have to worry about that whatsoever. I honestly think that they did more to show you exactly what they're doing in the bloodline, within the bloodline, than what they're doing with Cody Rhodes going into the Elimination Chamber. WWE basically said tonight, don't worry about what you saw last week. Don't worry about getting an explanation this week. The WrestleMania match for Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu was solidified tonight on Friday Night Smackdown, and it's going to be Solo versus Jacob Fatu. That's the only match that makes sense. The only match that makes sense. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Jacob Fatu is doing so much work on his own to get the crowd emotionally invested in what's going on that a match like this before might not be that appealing. But the way things are working right now, Jacob Fatu has been on TV every single week. He's been getting that crowd reaction, and Solo Sikoa disappeared for a little bit, which was probably the best thing for his character because I think a lot of people were fatigued on Solo Sikoa. And now that he's back and he wants to get everything straight again, it can't. Because Jacob Fatu was basically on the show in his absence, leading the charge, showing everybody that he doesn't really need Solo Sikoa. And that Solo Sikoa let the family down and ran away from the problems instead of Jacob Fatu, who was on the losing end. His family was on the losing end, and he was full steam ahead. No looking back whatsoever. And tonight, Jacob Fatu did not utter the words, I love you, Solo. When Solo Sikoa looked at Jacob Fatu dead in the face and said, Jacob, I love you. Jacob didn't even acknowledge it. He just walked away. And then obviously we got what we got in the close of the show, where there was a lot of miscommunication, and Cody Rhodes came out to help Damian Priest advance to the Elimination Chamber. It looks like we are getting some internal bloodline 2.0, if they are still even being called that. Looks like we're getting some internal family bloodline drama with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. That was the biggest takeaway of the show. It looks like they are headed towards a Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa WrestleMania match. So I did like that they are forwarding that part of the WrestleMania card. Good on them. Damian Priest advanced to the Elimination Chamber. No surprise there, being that the rumor is Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. I would assume that their WrestleMania program begins in the Chamber in 2 weeks. So I think that is all but set. LA Knight, the rumor was that they may pivot to a different plan for Drew McIntyre, but it looks like after tonight, LA Knight is going after the United States Championship. And right now he's embroiled in getting that back, and now he's got The Miz on his tracks. And he wants the United States Championship back. So I don't know where we're going with that. They played off the Drew McIntyre and LA Knight rumors coming out of the Royal Rumble last week in their qualifying match. Didn't even really address it tonight outside of a name drop by LA Knight in a very weird promo with The Miz. So it looks like we are going in separate directions there. Tiffany Stratton had a very good match with Nia Jax, as Nia Jax continues to churn out decent performances. It was a little rocky at the start, but Nia Jax always seems to grab them by the end of the match. And I thought her and Tiffany Stratton had a very good match by the conclusion. Trish Stratus, out of nowhere, who was in attendance today in Washington, D.C., she interjected and saved Tiffany Stratton from further beatdown from Candice LeRae and Nia Jax. And Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus are now going to team up, going into the Elimination Chamber against Nia Jax and Candice LeRae in some tag team action. So that happened tonight. We'll talk about that. Charlotte Flair, she made her WrestleMania dreams a reality tonight as she chose Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Heavyweight Championship, or the WWE Women's Championship, rather, for WrestleMania. That is her match. I will continue to say from this point on the road to WrestleMania, every single time I talk about Charlotte Flair, there is no conceivable way that WWE creative can look and hear every single week the disinterest in Charlotte Flair and have her beat Tiffany Stratton at the biggest show of the year. I don't know what they are seeing that everybody else is not. I don't know who's paying them off. I don't know. But at the end of the day, Charlotte Flair in absolutely no way should be defeating Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. All in all, it was a decent SmackDown tonight. 3 hours, still too long. Jade Cargill, we forwarded that storyline as well, just a little bit. A lot of people are like, well, WWE just revealed the attackers. No, they did not. WWE did not anywhere close reveal the attackers of Jade Cargill. That's what they want you to think. And some of the people online already burying the storyline, they didn't reveal anything. I didn't see any attackers in the video. Did you? If you did, I'd love for you to pinpoint where you saw the attackers. Nobody attacked anybody yet. It's called a swerve, folks. They're not going to reveal it on a random episode of Friday Night SmackDown in Washington, D.C. Give me a break. We'll discuss everything tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. I want to thank you guys for joining me on your Friday nights. It's Valentine's Day. Thank you for allowing me to be your Valentine on this Friday night. 1,000 views. See,
Wait a minute,
you
what the
guys
hell?
want? Hey. Moving on, Cody Rhodes. He's out there. He asked Washington, D.C. what they want to talk about. Cody talked about possible challengers. He called Logan Paul the most natural athlete to ever enter our sport. Boos. Boos for Logan Paul. He called CM Punk the voice of the voiceless. He said Drew McIntyre without any background to Drew McIntyre, without any definition to Drew, just Drew McIntyre. Also Drew McIntyre. Obviously, Drew McIntyre is worth more than just a name mention. He had the best year of his career, best feud of the year, best match of the year. I mean, let's start showing some Drew McIntyre respect, huh? Don't worry, Cody. You'll be seeing Drew this year at some point. I'm fully convinced of that. He called John Cena the greatest of all time. Is he? WWE wants you to think John Cena's the greatest of all time. Is he my greatest of all time? No, he's not.
Yeah.
He said he knows it won't be Solo Sikoa because he hasn't qualified and isn't in any of the remaining qualifiers. He said he believes that the Samoan Spike last week wasn't for him. And who the fuck was it for?
Exactly.
There was only one guy in the ring, and that was Cody Rhodes. It seemed pretty apparent who the Samoan Spike was for.
They did that for a reason. Are we not getting Cody Rhodes defending at the Chamber? Because if not defending, what doing that pay-per-view? I think he has to defend it because they need more matches. You can't just have two chamber matches and a tag team match with the woman. You gotta have a men's match. I think it should be Cody Rhodes. If not, it could be LA Knight and Nakamura.
McIntyre's music hits and he walks out. McIntyre gets into the ring. He tells Cody Rhodes, Cody, is that all I get? And also, Drew McIntyre, is that all I get? So Cody took the microphone, asked the crowd if they wanted him to redo and re-say all the names. And he speaks out loud with some oomph, with some enthusiasm this time. And also, Drew McIntyre, pal. So, Drew makes, when he was trying to handle business with Sami Zayn, I don't know you. He said he can count on one hand the men who have defeated him since he returned to WWE, and Drew McIntyre is one of those men. He says he has not forgotten that. Jacob Fatu's music then hit. Crowd erupted when they heard Jacob Fatu's music. Both Drew and Cody, who was already facing the stage, dead eye on Jacob Fatu walking up the aisleway. They walk out, they get in the ring. Fans are loudly chanting, Fatu, Fatu. Everybody loves Fatu. Jacob confronted Drew and says he's already got his spot in the chamber.
So
Tonight he says he's all gas and no brakes. So regarding Priest and Strowman, he's about to dog walk their asses. This all got cheered, by the way. Everybody in Washington, D.C. loved Jacob Fatu. He said he'll win the chamber. He'll go to WrestleMania. He'll win the WWE Championship and bring the title back home to his family. Drew McIntyre stared at him, face to face, eye to eye. He raised the microphone to his mouth and told Fatu that he thinks people want to see a psychopath and a werewolf WWE Championship. Fatu told, or Cody rather, told Fatu, when he qualifies for the chamber and wins the chamber, they can fight over this title. Another Fatu chant started. Solo Sikoa, all of a sudden, they show a video or a camera live feed backstage on the big screen, and Solo Sikoa is driving in his rental into the building. He gets out wearing all white, like he's reborn again. He's wearing all white, like he's reborn. He's returned. The King has returned to SmackDown without the Ulafala. So Jacob Fatu was very displeased to see Solo Sikoa, and Fatu put his arm up because Cody was going to go back there and beat the shit out of him. Fatu put his arm up to block Cody Rhodes and said if anyone's going to speak to Solo, it's going to be him first, talking family business.
you will be.
Cody says, if Fatu has the first word, then certainly I am going to get the last word. Fatu didn't even flinch. He left Cody in the ring.
And when
He and Tamatonga walked away and went to go find Solo Sikoa. WWE did a couple of things here. A, tease tension with Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa and tease internal problems with the family. Fatu, Tamatonga, and Solo Sikoa. While also at the same time, making sure Drew McIntyre is still in the mind and eyes of people to be a legit contender coming into the Elimination Chamber and walking out of the Elimination Chamber. More so after WrestleMania season is over. McIntyre is going to continue to be a thorn in Cody Rhodes' side. This is going to be a major feud for Cody Rhodes this summer.
yeah,
I don't know where it's going to take place. Could very well take place at SummerSlam for all we know. But Drew McIntyre, I've said this time and time again, multiple times. And if you start hearing people say it and utter it, you know where they heard it first. Drew McIntyre is my early odds-on favorites to win the King of the Ring tournament when Triple H brings back that specific event.
I hope they have it. He hadn't announced it, but I hope they have it.
He's going to win King of the Ring. He's going to win the number one contender through King of the Ring, and he's going to get Cody Rhodes by winning the King of the Ring tournament. When that match happens, will it be SummerSlam? Will it be somewhere else? I don't know. So WWE teased drama in the bloodline with all three members of the bloodline, Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Solo, while also teasing a potential showdown between Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Jacob Fatu. WWE, the more that we see Fatu, the more people are going to want to see him and cheer him. I don't know where we're going with this. WWE made it a thing where Fatu was supposed to solidify himself as a heel in the midst of the bloodline aftermath, with Solo Sikoa losing the Ulafala. I don't know if I would deviate away from what we're getting from the audience. I don't. I don't know how that's going to be when we eventually get Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns to cross paths, because Roman is a babyface. I don't really see them turning Roman back into a heel. But when you got Jacob Fatu out there getting cheers, and the match that is definitely going to be on the table at some point between Fatu and Roman, control, it's going to get too beyond them fixing it, and Jacob Fatu is going to fast track himself into being a babyface when WWE had no intentions of him being a babyface. It is very difficult not to want to cheer him. It's just so simple. The guy comes out, he's uber fucking cool. No bullshit, no frills. He's out there wearing a fucking ski mask with eyes in it, like he's gonna rob a fucking bank. Pun intended. The guy just looks legit. The guy just looks legit. He's fucking cool. Everything he says has meaning. Everything he says has legitimacy behind it. People love real. People want to cheer him because that's exactly who he is. He's not pretending to be anybody. He's not playing a character. He's not out there fucking spitting some corny, cheesy, cringy lines at anybody. That's him. And people are drawn to that. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't. WWE's going to have a very difficult time turning him back into a heel if this continues up. Tama Tonga was shown walking backstage where there was a worker there who he interrogated. Where's Solo? Did you see Solo? Yeah, that way. And the guy's legitimately shaking. He's like shaking, raising his hand. He went that way. So Tama Tonga doesn't lay a hand on this guy. All of a sudden, you see Jacob Fatu coming out of the side of the frame, lunging at this guy, blasting him with a leaping forearm, and throws him into production crates. This poor soul. Here I am laughing on my couch at this poor schmuck, this production tech, got fucking blasted by Jacob Fatu for absolutely no reason. And here I am laughing at this guy's demise on Friday Night Smackdown. I don't know why I found this so funny. Dick Joseph then on commentary said, geez, that guy, wrong place, wrong time, huh? Yeah, I would say so. Wade Barrett was in the crowd. He interviewed Trish Stratus at ringside. Music interrupted. And she walked out with Piper Niven to start her match with Naomi. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Now, there was a rumor last week that Trish Stratus was going to be in the Elimination Chamber plans and that WWE had a plan to bring her back to television. Being that she was, I don't know, was she in the Royal Rumble? I think she was in the Royal Rumble. She was in the Royal Rumble. So,
yeah, she
WWE,
was.
There was a report that she may be integrated back into some plans at the Chamber. They may be bringing her back. I figured they'd make her a guest host, being that it's in Toronto. Here we find out tonight that she's actually going to be wrestling alongside Tiffany Stratton. I guess we need that buffer in between the Rumble and WrestleMania for Tiffany Stratton. We need some extra rub for Tiffany Stratton before she goes and drops the fucking title to the Android. I hope to God that's not the case. Chelsea Green, the Women's United States Champion. Keep that in mind, folks. Remember that. The Women's United States Champion. One-on-one against Naomi. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. We go to a commercial break. We'll pick it up after the break because that's the only thing that really matters here. Naomi hit Green with a crossbody off the top rope. Then she follows up with a bulldog. Green dropped Naomi with a backstabber. Goes for a cover. She gets a 2 count. Champion got the win. 1, 2, 3 over the Women's United States champion, Chelsea Green. Folks, are we at a point yet? Are we at a point yet where we could start asking the question, why were the Women's United States Championship and the Women's Intercontinental Championship created? If the women that they were going to put these titles on were going to make the titles feel worse, then they really should be presented. Are we at that point yet where we can start asking questions? Because if you guys go back to Saturday night's main event, where Chelsea Green won the championship, what was my concern, chat? What was my main concern outside of everybody saying Chelsea Green got herself over? Chelsea Green deserves it. Chelsea Green deserves a run with the title. This is exactly why the title was made, for women like Chelsea Green. Chat, do you remember what I said in regards to Chelsea Green winning the United States Championship? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember? Was it the fact that the one thing JD from NY was worried about, putting the title on someone like Chelsea Green, who's not going to be legitimate enough to solidify the championship as importance on Smackdown on Friday night? There you go. Caden got it. Caden Crawford in the chat. You know what? Caden's going to get a round of applause because that's exactly what I said.
This promo is all
Absolutely.
Now, I go here for the face-to-face.
I gotta
This
ask,
face-to-face between you and me.
what the fuck are we doing?
The emotion.
What are we doing? You know, it's
Like
only fair.
The watch, man.
It's only fair where AEW treats their TBS, or not TBS, Mercedes, whatever. At least Mercedes is defending the title. And Mercedes is bringing credibility to the TBS title. The TNT title, the international title, the continental title, the fucking trios titles. These are titles that are less than because of the creative behind these titles. If we are going to critique AEW and the lack of prestige for their titles, then it's only fair to do it for WWE. Why were these titles created if nobody was going to take them seriously? Was this a case of WWE listening to unintelligent, unknowledgeable fucking geeks online cry, bitch, moan, complain? Oh, well, the women, they need more opportunity, Dave from NY. They need more opportunity. Fantastic. You know what we need? We need women who are going to hold this championship that are going to bring prestige to said championship. Or better yet, maybe we need a creative team that's going to treat the championship with some sort of respect and some prestige. This is now the second week in a row, or second time in a week. Never mind 2 weeks in a row. Second time this week. Where we had both the Intercontinental Champion and the United States Champion take a pinfall loss clean in the middle of the ring. May I ask why?
Exactly.
May I ask the ever-important question of why? Was there nobody else on the roster that you could plug into this match for Naomi to beat? Did it have to be Chelsea Green?
Exactly. That's what I
The
said.
Women's United States Champion? Was there somebody else on the roster on Monday Night Raw that you could have plugged in for Bayley to go over, where we didn't have to pin the Intercontinental Champion, Lyra, Valkyria?
Exactly. That's exactly what I said. If this is how you're going to book your mid-card talent for the woman, then get off of Lyra and Chelsea. If not going to do anything with them. Chelsea hadn't really done anything besides wrestle Meechin every week, and Lyra had no one to feud with. She hadn't even defended the title since she won it.
Or is there nobody else? Yeah, is that it? Is that it? Are these the only women that you got on the roster?
Yeah.
Or are they purposely burying these championships? Because just like everything else in the women's division, it doesn't matter, and nobody gives a fuck about anything else unless you are a world champion.
Yeah. If you're gonna bury the mid-card title like the tag team titles, get rid of it. First of all, the tag team title, put those on NXT or get rid of it.
When can we start asking questions?
Hmm.
It's been how many months now? 2 months. 2 months. January, February, 2 months. And not one single fucking story has been born. With both of these championships on the roster now, there's not one single story, not one single additional story for either the Intercontinental or the United States Championship. What are we doing? Is it too early to ask questions? No, it's not. The creator for this, the creator for the Intercontinental Championship is pure fucking garbage. Garbage. You could not ask me to care about these titles.
I don't.
Legitimately give zero fucks when they're on TV.
I agree. I don't give a fuck about these titles. The more you keep burying them and have them lose clean and non-title matches without no story, no effort, you might want to get rid of them. These titles are just as relevant as the women's tag team title. Those non-existent belts that are also trash that people have to get rid of. Put them back on NXT and have them stay there. We don't need women's tag team title when there's no division, there's no real tag team. Bianca and Naomi haven't done shit with these titles, so when are they gonna lose? When they losing these titles? Because what team is there? Nia and Candice? That's not a real tag team.
After 2 months, that's fucking sad.
Exactly.
Do better.
Awful.
Honestly, do better. Clearly, they were never needed. OG Gio. Yes, I agree. They were never needed. Sami Zayn sent in a video from home about being laid out by Kevin Owens and the package pile driver. He had no neck brace on. He was just sitting in the comfort of his own home. He says he's not doing well. Good. To get ahead or send a message. It wasn't about trying to get ahead or send a message. It was to try and end his career, and he wants to know why.
Alright, well. My point is, think I'll end the video. Think I made it long enough. Here's the highlight to Smackdown. The main event.
Also, dramatic.
38 minutes. Pretty quick.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the WWE.
Of the match. They came back. Tiffany hit a moonsault to the floor onto Nia, but not really. She basically missed her, so it's like a Charlotte Flair moonsault.
Yeah, and get Nakamura and The Miz the fuck out of there. Awful. Just awful fucking television. The crowd could not be bothered to care one iota of a fuck about either one of those guys.
Exactly.
And neither do I. Alexa Bliss, which I actually like better as his finish, but a lot more people are adopting an elbow drop for their finish. But in this case, I like it because this looks pretty. So I like the switcheroo. I like the BFT as a setup, and I like the elbow drop as a finish, and that's exactly what finished The Miz off. After the match is over, LA Knight and Nakamura had a stare down that I felt like went on forever. I thought an announcement was going to be made by Nick Aldis coming back out. I thought Nakamura or LA Knight would say Elimination Chamber, and one of the ringside microphones would have picked up something. These guys met face to face, which seemingly felt like fucking 5 minutes looking at each other and the United States Championship, and then the segment comes to a close. This entire 3-piece segment, from the promo to the match to the stare down, just felt so fucking off. So weird. And if you ask me, JD, do you care? No, I don't. Put the title back on LA Knight. Let's start building a decent program for the United States title going into WrestleMania and get Nakamura and The Miz the fuck out of there. Awful. Just awful fucking television. The crowd could not be bothered to care one iota of a fuck about either one of those guys.
Exactly.
Carmelo says he's going to talk to Aldis. Chad is saying the QR code read, "Do you feel in charge?" I always feel in charge. LA Knight caught The Miz with a power slam from your...
Hope I didn't miss anything. Or maybe it just doesn't matter.
He's been waiting patiently and praying for a worthy challenge. They gave him the what treatment? LA Knight's music, I don't know what else he said. He wants...
Oh, wait, hold on.
Trust. If you got to go through those...
Never mind.
Just let me know, he says. He walks away. Carmelo Hayes told Miz, people...
Well, might as well just end the video. I think I made it long enough. Not much to talk about. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments, and I will do more. I think I will do AEW Collision, and I think I will talk about NXT Vengeance. That is on that is tomorrow night in Washington DC that they're at. So yeah. This is Jacob Cast 2024 until next time.